In September of 2012, Mayor Bloomberg of New York City and the city's Board of Health passed a city ordinance that banned the sale of sugary beverages in containers larger than 16 ounces. Now, the ban went into effect only affecting a certain number of retailers, particularly restaurants such as food service, fast food places, movie theaters, and sporting events. It didn't go so far as to affect modern retailers such as supermarkets, hypermarkets, convenience stores. However, many beverage manufacturers were outraged, thinking that this move will be one of many to create a sort of a nanny type state within New York City, whereby the city passes ordinances for the sake of health and wellness. And the fact of the matter is the law itself should not have that big of an impact on the actual volume of beverages sold. Sure, areas such as drink vendors at kiosks or your typical hot dog vendor in New York City now can no longer serve beverages larger than 16 ounces, but consumers still have the freedom to make those purchases in grocery stores, in convenience stores. Consumers can still go and get their big gulps. So what you're going to see is not necessarily a shift in the volume or even the value of full-flavored carbonates that are consumed in New York. Rather, what you'll see is a shift in distribution, where consumers go to get these products. As we mentioned, the ability for the consumer to go to 7-Eleven or any of these regional convenience stores just gives them the ability to then make those purchases there. The larger fear is we'll start seeing legislation that will adversely affect carbonates, and on a larger scale than just this citywide ordinance. But as history shows us, this type of legislation has failed in the past. One of the largest examples is in France. There was a tax on beverages that had added sugar. It was amounted to about 11 cents per 1.5 liters. In protest, Coca-Cola had actually suspended the creation of a manufacturing plant in the south of France. But the overall effect was that the law did not curb the actual consumption of the sugary beverages. That's not to say that full-flavored carbonates are not in decline. As Euromonitor data shows, full-flavored colas have been in decline for the last few years, and that trend does continue. But that has more to do with an overall consumer perception of consuming, of having too high of a calorie intake with their soft drinks. So what they're doing is they're switching to diets, or they're switching to other types of drinks, such as ready-to-drink teas and coffees, to energy drinks and sports drinks, to both fruit juices that are naturally sweetened, or to artificially sweetened diet colas and other carbonates. As these consumers are making these shifts, full-flavored carbonates still represent one of the largest volumes of soft drinks available on the market. So it's not a case where they're going to die off completely. However, the innovations that we're seeing in this category actually speak directly to the health and wellness concerns of many consumers. We're seeing smaller pack sizes where Coca-Cola and Pepsi have created cans that are specifically 100 calories. In effect, the innovations that we see from the beverage manufacturers in providing smaller pack sizes to consumers is a trend that's already occurring regardless of whether or not New York had passed this law. So in the long run, although we will see a lot of media attention and protests concerning consumer choice, the fact of the matter is the industry is already moving toward those smaller sizes.